project on display is called Antarctic Resolution. It focuses on Antarctica, which is a seventh continent, which we have basically collectively neglected. It's a global commons, which accounts for 10% of the landmass of planet Earth. And the ice which stratifies over its bedrock is equivalent to approximately 70% of the fresh water of planet Earth. And this ice is at once the biggest repository of data for climate change, at the same time the biggest threat and menace to all the coastal communities around the world. It is the first time that a cross-disciplinary team comes together to offer a holistic view of the continent. Of the objects in display, the first, snow goggles that Captain Scott wore in Antarctica, stand as a metaphor to the necessity of dropping those goggles and rejecting the pixelated view that data companies give us of Antarctica, which is pixelated, and obtain a wider field of vision, and finally, collectively forming and constructing a high-resolution image. The work which is behind me is a research which was developed in the past 2 years by over 150 polar specialists from the fields of science, climate change, glaciology, oceanography, but as well as law and political science, architecture, engineering, which for the first time came together to author a publication and to launch a platform which can allow for insighting for resolution on Antarctica. Behind me on the left are some suits which were developed by Unless in collaboration with Dainese and the DR Lab, its R&D organization. They have collaborated already with the Aerospace Agency, and what they do is to provide the scientists who operate in Antarctica with a suit which is intelligent and at the same time allows them survival in the continent beyond their current level of autonomy, which is just of 5 minutes in the winter time when the temperatures reach minus 89 degrees. For us, these suits also stand as a critique to the proliferation of architectures on the continent, which are used as a political device, effectively, and an advocacy for a reduction of the contaminating human footprint on the continent. The work which stands behind me is an artwork by Arcangelo Sassolino. It is a large-scale performative installation which was developed in collaboration with David Vaughan, one of the lead glaciologists of the Thwaites Glacier collaboration, which is one of the most important and dangerous glaciers in Antarctica. Its volume stands as a unit of measure, since 250 volumes of the equivalent size melt in Antarctica every second beyond the equilibrium of any glacier. And it's thundering, which you will hear in a second, represents and evokes exactly the sound of ice breaking in Antarctica.